I'm seeing pollen going in. I'm seeing nice colonies. I'm just putting this feed on. Look at this. I mean, okay, this looks like an exceptional one. Let's have a look in here. Really nice colonies. A little bit of white wax coming in there. So they're going to get another feed. There's the pollen sub going on. That's all they need. Chuck that on there. I'll put my eek back on. And we'll fill the feeder back up. This time of year I quite like beekeeping with nukes. Not enormous, but on 5 frames. They get the big pollen sub. And they'll get a feeder full. Everything they need. Look at this one, huh? Beautiful. Packed full. Look at that. I'm pleased to see this. Look at this pollen going in. That's ivy pollen. Down the valley there is a massive valley of ivy. And overall, I'm really pleased. This is my lifeline for next year. Just look at this. This obviously, what's happened is we've had 2 days of rain. And even though we've had 2 days of rain, the ground is still hard, so I can drive still here in my truck. We've had a nice lot of rain, and see the bees, suddenly got warmer air come back up, and it's given everything that kickstart. Really, really good. Couple didn't make it. I'll reuse those, clean them out. But overall, everything is alive, looking good. Lots of bees and lots of colonies. Very, very pleased. I put some supers out the other day to be cleaned out. They've got to go back, but unfortunately they got wet. That is the nature of the beast. At the moment, I haven't got my storage sorted out yet, but they had to go somewhere. Much less Asian hornets, but the reason probably why there is less is because they're all on the ivy, feeding on the other insects as well. This is what happens is, the problem is the traps dry out eventually, and then they fall on the ground and they get blown over. So you've got to constantly come back and refill them. But I mean, these bees are lovely. These are all my tenuta queens from Italy. All the ones I made earlier in the year myself, they're all in production hives. So that's good, but this is just a late lot I got when I made the summer splits. But I'm liking a lot what I'm seeing. It's still early days to say whether we've going to get through the problem the Asian hornets have caused, but right now I'm feeling a heck of a lot better. I'm going to put my hood up because there's a few bees around that I find that when you get the ivy, they get a bit excitable. Almost everyone is full and looking good. There'll be a few that are a little bit smaller. There always is when you make nukes. There's an Asian hornet. There's only one I've seen, 2 I've seen. So I'm pretty happy with that. That is the beauty of making some temporary eeks, is when you make them up, they're cheap. When you want to feed your bees, you put your pollen sub on top there. You've got your feeder straight above the bees, so the bees warm the syrup. And this time of year you can get cold nights for us here. And because the syrup is warm, they take it down. Look at that, full of bees. These look great. You can forget it, mate, go on. So pollen sub on these. a good low gun on each one. And then the syrup as well. So they're going to have everything they need. I've really made these patties up a little bit bigger, because as you saw, the other ones are getting devoured really well. So I made that decision, put a little bit more in each one, give them the one-off thing, and then I'll be coming back again and taking out. Obviously, I got all my Varroa treatments in here. They've got to come out, I think it's next week. That'll be 6 weeks. And we'll try to adhere to the recommended times to make sure that everything is done as it should be. But I can tell you without any hesitation, after seeing this lot here, I'm extremely less anxious than I was when we were 6 weeks ago and there was just thousands of hornets everywhere. I know there's somewhere else the hornets, but we have been working on the nest. We have been trapping them the whole time, and it's about... It is that time of the year when the Asian hornet nest will start to reduce down. They will make a load of queens, and we can just keep mopping them up, and we see less pressure on the hives. But I'm just going to show you these hives here. Look, when you see this as a beekeeper and you see this pollen going in that you haven't seen for weeks and weeks, this is like the big breath of fresh air that you waited for. We got the next week is actually brilliant. We got rain mostly late in the day for the next 2 days, and then a much dry spell, but generally warmer. So all these bees are going to be feeding on the protein and bringing in their own pollen and bringing it and using the syrup. So they've got plenty of room to build, and because there's an outside flow on, they will be building new comb and new foundation, which is the best thing I wanted. Just look at that. It's just lovely to watch. They're just floating down. Okay, we've got a long way to go because a lot of these bees are quite old, I think, and they've struggled to make numbers in the colony because of the Asian hornet presence. But look at that, absolutely beautiful. This makes me extremely happy. So, and also when I see rows of nukes like that, every single one doing well, I think I've kind of maybe caught up a bit in that respect. I will go into winter with lots of nukes. But that was just an update for you. We've got 4 or 5 weeks left to finish off, and I'm going to work my socks off to give these bees everything I can. So, whatever you're doing, have a good weekend and catch you again soon. Bye for now.